morning. Hi guys, how are we doing out there? It's Friday, we made it to the end of another week and now we get 2 days rest. I am here this whole week actually, and the last few weeks I've been here preaching about mobility and why movement is amazing and how it's going to save you from literally a whole lifetime of pain if you were to just move it. So what we've been doing is actually live mobilisation techniques and methods together for the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to start to introduce special topics. Special topics that I can spend a whole video on that surrounds one area. So today I'm talking about plantar fasciitus. If you don't know what that is the pain that comes pretty much from the heel down to the toes, and it can be experienced in the middle. It's generally worse in the mornings, and I don't know how true it is, if it's an actual fact, but I tend to have a lot more women complain about this pain than men. It may have something to do with all those high heel shoes that we love to wear. So plantar fasciitus is actually really crippling. I know that I have worked with a few of my friends that may be watching this at some point, and people that have spoken to me about it before. And it generally comes from either being on your feet too much, wearing incorrect shoes, funnily enough, bad posture. So I'm going to help you fix it because I really appreciate how painful this pain is, and it can be made better with some of the mobilisation methods that we've been doing, especially around the ankles and the calves. So if you have or do have plantar fasciitus and you have been doing those mobilisation methods with me, you would have felt hopefully a little bit of relief. But if you've been living with plantar fasciitus or that pain across the bottom of your foot, then you may have just accepted it as a part of growing up and getting on. So you may not have done too much about it. And annoyingly, when you ignore a problem for too long, you're going to need to do a little bit of harder work to make it right again. If you've been living with plantar fasciitus for a while, I definitely would get yourself down the doctors, because he is going to be able to get you in touch with a physio and people that can actually help you make this better. But if you're one of those stubborn people that is living with pain and probably not going to phone the doctors but interested in what you can do about it, I'm going to just teach you some massage techniques and some stretches that you can do that's going to help you get rid of that cramping feeling that you get. Sometimes most of the time this is definitely worse in the morning, and we sort of like get out of bed and it hurts to walk around on the sore foot. You might have it on both feet, and it's like a stabbing pain. It's like bam, 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 bam. So I've had it myself, so that's how come I know how awful it is. But the best thing is that I've also done the work to help it. So plantar fasciitis, massive pain at the heel. Do any of you who are watching this have this? If you're here and you have it, then say yes, so that we can have a little chat about it. If you're not and you're just interested in what I've been doing the last few weeks, then this might be something that you can keep in the bank for later, for if it does happen. So you'll see that I've got, you can't see as it's not in shot, I've got some little things here that we're going to get out with, we're going to get out, and we're going to be using these today. Now don't freak out about the fact that you don't have one of these. We can sort it out, okay? There's always a workaround. And I've also got an elastic, it's an exercise band, but you can actually use a towel for this, for stretching this, doesn't matter. So, plantar fasciitis. Usually, what we can do about plantar fasciitis is that we have to start to move that whole ankle. So we want to give it some stretches. So you'll know that if you've been doing mobilisations with me lately, I love to do a little ankle and calf stretch. Your ankles and calves, or your ankles, definitely take a lot of weight. And so if you don't look after them, it really won't be surprising that you are going to be standing in the wrong way. And it can be super simple. I mean, you might think, oh well, I'll stand up just fine actually. But actually, do you? Because I noticed when I started getting my plantar fasciitus, and I'm like a PT, I'm like, oh, how is this happening to me? What was happening was this, look at this. So this is me standing straight with a nice engagement. As the day goes on and other things go on in your life, you're not so on your body. So what was happening is I was having a little lean in here of the ankle, which then shortens and lengthens muscle tendons around the ankle, which lead up to the calf, which off balances the knee. It can even come up to off balance the hip. So there's a lot of things that can happen from one issue, and those heels and feet are something that we have to look after. But the nice thing is that generally with a couple of stretches and a little bit of mobilisation, can fix it. So let's do this. I was really trying to find my little tennis ball that I usually have around here, but I can't find it today of all days. And I wanted to let you guys know that you don't have to have all these fancy pieces of equipment. We've got this, which is called a foam roller. This is it's the same as this one, which is another foam roller. This is quite a hard foam roller, and you'll see that these foam rollers have these little indents in them. These are really quite tough stuff. Got a love-hate relationship. Hate to do it, but love the effects that these give. If you don't know what these are foam rollers, and they were invented by some amazing person who I think was doing like a lot of marathons. It was like a ultra marathon runner, and he couldn't have a sports masseuse follow him around to give him a sports massage after every single run. So he made the foam roller, and it's supposed to mimic the effect of a sports massage. And if you don't know what a sports massage is, it's really when you go and see one of those people and they get right into those sore muscles and they are going to massage the shit out of that until all that tension has gone. And so that's why we call this the poor man's masseuse. Although if you're thinking about getting one of these, I will tell you they are absolutely magic. They are horrible to use, but they will be doing such a great job at getting in there and fixing those issues that you've got. So definitely worth it. If you are not sure where to get one of these, you can send me a link. I was supposed to have looked it up. I mean, you can send me a link. You can send me a message and I will try and grab you a link. I was trying to find out where I purchased this from a little while ago, but I will find it out for you. The best thing about this one is that it actually vibrates. So it actually gets the job done a lot quicker. If you don't have one of these, it doesn't matter. You can use a bottle that you can fill up with water and you can just shove it in the freezer. A lot of people are using that for plantar fasciitus. And I'm going to quickly show you how we're going to use it. So I'm not going to put the vibrations on this, but I'll tell you what. I used a little ball or a tennis ball to begin with, and it's great to massage out those little bits of tension that are sitting on the underside of your foot. And then with this vibration on, it's also helping those muscles to sit back in without me having to do too much digging and pressing in to get rid of the tension spots myself. But as I was saying, if you don't have one of these, you can start off with getting a bottle of water, putting it in the freezer, and then you can copy these movements on there. If you have experienced plantar fasciitis for a while and the stretches are helpful but not actually getting rid of the issue, I would definitely recommend going to see a doctor so that he can get you into seeing a physical therapist or someone that can actually get deep in there. But if you're one of those people that's probably never going to phone the doctors, I would consider buying one of these. They're not that expensive. I would say this was under £30. And when I had my plantar fasciitis, obviously I know all my stretches, I know all of my rotations and mobilisations. Nothing got to it quite like this one. And this one I would recommend. To people that want it. So tell me if you do, and I'll try and find you the link for that, because that was perfect. But let's say this is my frozen water bottle, because most of us don't have one of these, I know that. What I would do is, you can either do this on a chair, so you could be sitting on a chair doing this, or you can do it on the floor like I am. What you're going to do here is you're just going to roll this heels to toes, heels to toes. We're going to do that maybe 4 or 5 times. You can do it as much as you want, but you will start to feel here there's areas of soreness. So then we're going to squash it by rubbing it in to our roller. Yeah. And then we're just going to roll over it all over again. Be good when you are doing your roll, even if it is with a bottle, that you roll it all the way to you and that you roll it all the way away. And the reason why we do this is because look at the ankle range of motion that I'm getting from having it pointed to me and then rolling it away. I'm getting some good ankle mobility in there at the same time. So as well as the massage, I'm starting to improve and strengthen my range of motion around my ankles. Perfect. Once you've done this, you really can do that as much as you want, although I wouldn't go crazy with it. If you're feeling that pain and you want to get rid of it, maybe think of it as something to get by the end of the week, not something that you're going to get done in one session, especially if you've been living with it for a little while. If you want to, you can make this one harder. Once your water bottle is frozen, you can gently come up onto one foot so that you can put more pressure through that foot whilst you're doing your little massage. I'm going to have to come all the way back, sorry you guys couldn't see that. Rolling it away and bringing it in, and then giving it a little rubbing on those areas that I'm feeling feedback in. One thing that people do a lot with plantar fasciitis is that they focus on the pain and getting that pain gone, and they don't really realise that plantar fasciitis can be made a lot better if you also focus on those calves. Because those ankles and those calves, well, they're sitting right next to each other. So if one feels tight, it wouldn't be surprising if the other one was tight. And this is really where I see such a lot of relief from clients when we start to take it up to the calf. And again, you can use your frozen water bottle, you can get one of those foam rollers if you like. What we're going to do here is we're just going to roll our calves, the underside. And you're going to roll it up to mid-calf, and then you can take it back. And it's in these areas that you're going to start to feel what we like to call feedback, which is really just areas of tension that you need to squash out. So we'll do 4 rolls up and down, and then you'll do 4 squishes into the foam roller. If you do have a foam roller, you will know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about feedback. These feedbacks can feel very intense, but again, it wouldn't really be a surprise because your ankles are so tight and the range of motion is suffering. Once you've done half the calf, you can then do the other half. So you'd start from the point where you finished, and you're just going to finish just under the knee. And again, we do the same movement. You're going to do 4 up and down, and then you're going to squash it in 4 times. And I would do that until I felt like those tension bubbles had gone. And I know that I can sit here and do that with a smile on my face, but I tell you what, you will feel it when they turn up. That is really the best advice that I would give for helping out the painful bottom of the foot that we're getting. It's mainly down to ankle and calf tightness and postural correction in the first place, because you may be standing slightly off to one side of your heel, or it may be up in the hip, your hips may be slightly out of alignment. So let's say you haven't got one of these and you've got a bottle of water, but I mean it's going to take some while to freeze up in the freezer. It's great to know for tomorrow though, right? So what we're going to do is the best that we can. We're going to get ourselves a little tea towel and we're going to hook this around one foot. Yeah, nice. Now what we're going to do here is draw our shoulders back and put our chest up to the ceiling, and then I want you to point your toe against that band or against that towel, and then I want you to use that towel to bring your foot up to point it into you, and then you're going to do it again. Nice. We can do this 4 or 5 times. We're going to press against it and bring it in. You'll feel that the resistance of the band or the towel that you're using just makes this a little bit more intense, and you have more leverage to bring it in just a little bit more. We're doing to the floor, into the ceiling, but we are also going to try and go over to the side and over to the other side. But this is awesome for the ankles, for the calves. You will be feeling this, I can tell you that. Perfect. So front and back, to the side, to the side. Then I would change it over and I would do it again. Nice. So you might only have this pain in one heel, but please don't just do it on that one side. I know it's annoying to have to go and work on a side that you don't think that there's any issues with, but it's always good to do it just to give it a little bit of encouragement, if anything else. Nice. So I've done my toes to the floor and to the ceiling. I'm just going to take it over and over to the sides there. The band stretches are great, or the towel stretches are great. The one that's really going to get in there and do the business is that foam roller. A vibrating foam roller is definitely going to be the best. If not, a foam roller will do. If not, a bottle of frozen water will do, as will a tennis ball, which I couldn't find that I really wanted to show you today. Perfect. So yeah, you've got a lot to do there if you do experience this pain on the bottom of the heels. Also, what I would recommend is that in the mornings, before you even get out of bed, you can do toes to you and toes to the floor whilst you're laying down. Toes to you, toes to the floor, out to the side, bringing it back in. This is also going to help you loosen up before you step out of bed and step straight onto that awful pain that comes with the plantar fasciitis. Woo! There you go, that was a mouthful. So I hope that you guys have found that helpful. I haven't been able to see any comments, but I am coming up. I'm coming over right now. So I'm glad that I managed to take myself onto a proper live today, and that you lot all made it here. Thank you. Yes, not too much bending over today, but keep tuned. I'm sure there might be some coming up for you next week. Lovely. Hey, yes, Sham, well done you for getting yourself back in the gym. I was actually really quite jealous to see you on that cable pull down there, so well done you. Does anybody have any questions for me? Good morning to you. While I'm here. Lovely. Are any of you experiencing any pains in any specific areas? Maybe I can cover that on my special chats that I'm going to be doing on Fridays. Are going to be dedicated to a special area of pain. Nice. Alright then guys, well thank you so much for being here with me for the whole week again. I'm not going anywhere too soon, so you will see me back here next week. And as I was saying, if you have been doing those stretches, if you're one of those people that I was talking to, or maybe you have plantar fasciitis, maybe you didn't even know what it was, maybe you're just like, I'm so sick of this pain that seems to be on my heel and there's nothing I can do and I can't walk through it. Hopefully that has helped you out. But yeah, if you do have any issues, any sore points, anything that you've been living with for a while that you just think, oh God, it's down to an everyday niggle, but I need to do something about it, then tell me about it, because I could probably help. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on then this morning, guys. And thank you for loving it. Thank you, Tina, for always being here, and thank you so much for, I've got to say this, thank you for sharing my videos this week. I was so impressed with the people that are just sharing my videos because they love what I'm doing. But if this has resonated with you, or if you know someone that's always complaining about being stiff, sore and achy, then give me a little share on their wall. They might quietly enjoy it. Okay, my loves. Well, have an amazing weekend, and I shall see you all on Monday. Have a great day. Goodbye.